Welcome back to digital class, and now we are looking at the human circulatory system here. So before I talk about human circulatory system, there are actually another two systems that you must understand. So the first one is the respiratory system because it's closely related, and the next one is the digestive system. So I believe that actually you have actually already learned all this system, but now we are revising with a more detailed ideas here. Okay. So now, teacher, why human circulatory system is related to respiratory system and digestive system? Because human circulatory system basically is the blood that is traveling around our body, and that actually includes transporting respiratory system. We have actually oxygens involved in. We have actually oxygen that's involved in. And digestive system, we have the digested food. And of course, like nutrients, all these things, right? Okay. So these two things is related to our human circulatory system. So when we discuss about human circulatory system, it's actually very common that we should link, example, lung. Yes, part of our discussion. And as you know, we'll discuss about heart. Heart will be also in our part of our discussion. And other parts of the body. Other parts of the body, which also include, maybe I'll just put on beside small intestine. And small intestine is something that is very important as part of the digestive system. Lung is from the respiratory system. Okay. So maybe I'll just quickly come to this first part first. What's the function of human circulatory system? If I don't be general, I'll just say to carry substance around our body. Okay. But to be specific, what substance? Then you can see here. The first point, transport digested food. You may use highlighter. Transport digested food, water, oxygens, and nutrients to all parts of the body. So basically, it's simple. Our body needs digested food, water, oxygens, nutrients. That's why it transport all these things to our body, to all parts of our body. And second point, transport waste materials such as carbon dioxide away from our body. So basically, very simple. Our body does not need this carbon dioxide. So we are transporting it away from our body. So basically, we transport what we want to all parts of our body, and we transport anything that we don't need away from our body. Okay. And yeah, that is the part here. And this part, what we are discussing, the functions here, is basically closely related to our blood. Why? Because blood is the one that is actually kind of transporting, right? Okay. So as you can see here, I repeat the same thing here. Blood, it carries digested food, water, oxygens, and nutrients to all parts of our body, and it carries waste materials away from our bodies. Okay, so this is something that we should know now. Heart, it gets blood from the body and it sends it back out to every part. Huh? Teacher, you are saying that the blood, heart receives blood from our body and it gives away to our body. But why? Why need to go like come in and go away? Why? Because at different point of time, blood carries different items. Okay, which we'll discuss a bit further here. Okay, later I'll draw something like this. Okay, and all this line basically referring to the blood flow. The blood flow from lung to heart, then heart to other parts of the body. As you know, as you can see here, right? Blood from the body sends it back to every part, means that it's coming in, coming out. Okay, and I'll explain in detail what they are carrying at that moment. Okay, and heart also circulates nutrients they are absorbed from food in the small intestine throughout the body. So this is a point where there's a very important nutrients, or we can say the digested food, are absorbed from the food in the small intestine. Means that this small intestine is important that digested food will be absorbed here, or you can say nutrients are okay. Digested food or nutrients is actually receiving here. Let me just put the highlight here under the small intestine. Okay. Next part, blood vessels. And as you know, blood is transporting, right? Through what? Through the blood vessels. Okay. So here say what? Blood rich in oxygen means that the blood have very high concentrated of oxygen. It's travel from the lungs to the heart. Now, lung to the heart, blood rich in oxygen. Let me just go back to the diagram here. Lung to the heart is actually blood rich in oxygen. Means that at this moment of time, the oxygen level here is the highest. Blood rich in oxygen, right? But why? Because the lung breathe in oxygen, we breathe in oxygen into the lung, and the blood carries the oxygen from the lung to the heart. That's why at this moment, there is the high concentration of oxygen. It's blood rich in oxygen. Okay, and it's actually very important to know at this moment, blood rich in oxygen, very rich in oxygen. When it comes to here, it'll be a bit lesser. Why? Because the heart need oxygen also, ma. So it takes away a bit oxygen, and it also travels the oxygen to all parts of the body. Again, I repeat, lung take the blood from the lung, get some oxygen, and at this moment, blood very rich in oxygen, then travels to the heart. Heart takes a bit away. That's why here a bit lesser, but it's still a lot. And these oxygens are all transported to all other parts of the body. Then when it goes back to heart, do we still have oxygen here? Yes, we still have, but maybe a bit lesser now. Actually, so far lesser now. And when it goes back to the lung, it's even lesser now. So you should understand that the concentration of oxygen is the highest from lung to heart, then slowly a bit lesser from heart to other parts of the body, then now coming to the very least from other parts to the heart, then almost very low from heart back to the lung. Okay, so that's the first part. Okay, next, blood poor in oxygen return to heart from the body. This is basically what I just explained. When it go back from the heart to the body, go back returns to the heart from the body. At this moment, blood poor in oxygens, as you can see, is very lesser now. Okay, let me just put here. Oxygen highest level, a bit slower, a bit lower, and the least here. Okay, that's why here is called blood rich in oxygen and blood poor in oxygen. Okay, so maybe I'll just go back here now. Or maybe I'll just circle the word oxygens here so that you can see that this is the at the moment there's highest concentration. I would say rich, okay, I'll just use the word rich. Now, very interestingly, you should also understand that when lung breathe in oxygen or getting oxygen, it also get what? Carbon dioxide. Okay, but the level of carbon dioxide is actually very least only. It's not that much. But as heart taken in oxygen, it also release out the carbon dioxide. So at this moment, here will be a bit more. Can you see? Here is a bit lesser, maybe a bit more. Then when other parts of the body get oxygen, it returns back the carbon dioxide. Means that this moment, carbon dioxide will be what? Be even more. Then when it goes back to the lung, it will have the highest level of carbon dioxide. You can see here, at this point of time, let me just use the color here. At this point of time, oxygen is very rich, carbon dioxide have the least. At this moment, when oxygen have the least, we have actually the most in the carbon dioxide. Okay, so that's the whole idea here that you should know. And why blood is having low oxygen here? Because we will go back to lung and lung will again get more oxygen. And this rich carbon dioxide, when it goes back to lung, it will be what? It will be released. Who will exhale. Then this carbon dioxide will be away from our body. So this diagram is actually very important. It gives us a very clear idea. Now, I just want to specially mention that, do you still remember that when hearts, okay, we are done with the respiratory part. Now I just want to focus on the digested food part, which is the digestive system part. Heart, oxygens bring in, and again, here go through this small intestine. And as I mentioned, here we have the digested food or the nutrients here. That's why this will be absorbed into the blood. Again, these all arrows represent the blood flow. Then the nutrients or the digested food will be again transported here. Means that this is not only transporting the oxygen, carbon dioxide, all the digested food, all are actually transported here. But it's starting from this moment now, okay? Because small intestine now giving out the digested food, okay? And heart pump to all the birds. Then come back, then small intestine give out, give out, give out, okay? So I think you get some of the ideas here, okay? Now, let me just come back to this something that's very, very important. I will strongly suggest you to put a star here. Is that what causes the heart to beat faster? Beat faster means that what? Heart to beat faster means that the heart rate is actually high or increase. What causes an increased heart rate during exercise? Why exercise? The heart rate will increase. Now, this answer is actually very important. So let's bear with me here. When we exercise, then it means what? Our body needs more energy. Our body needs more energy. This causes the heart to beat faster. Huh? Why? Because it can pump blood containing what? Digested food and oxygens to our muscle faster. Now you need to understand again, because we need more energy, and what gives us energy? The digested food, the oxygens. So the heart need to pump faster so that the blood carries all these digestible oxygens can go up to our muscle faster. That's why it helps our muscle to produce more energy. Why? Because we have digested food, we have oxygen through respiration. Okay, so we will like breathe in more oxygen, allowing the blood to flow faster. Okay, so that's basically the whole idea here. So when you explain, try to follow the logic here. Okay, and that is basically the main part here. And but I just want to add on here that as blood flow is a bit faster, at this moment of time, don't forget the carbon dioxide and the waste product or waste materials also will be transported away from our body a bit faster. Okay? Because again, we breathe in more oxygen, we also transport away the carbon dioxide a bit faster. Okay, so that's basically the whole idea for this human circulatory system. So please make sure you try to understand, especially this diagram and all the different functions. Or maybe this like rich oxygen, rich in carbon dioxide, which is the flow. Okay, this is all very, very important. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this video. And that's all. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.